Purposive Communication in English 100. Me and my group mates will be discussing about communication.
So I am Lancel Desperation from BSED 1C, and I'm here reporting the meaning of communication. Communication is the process of sending and receiving messages in order to share meanings. The communication process involves two or more people interacting verbally or non-verbally in order to understand each other's feelings, ideas, and attitudes.
Of communication according to purpose. When communication occurs, it typically happens in one or three ways: verbal, nonverbal, and visual. In our discussion, we'll have a three classification of communication which will be discussed by my group mates. It is arranged by groups according
verbal and visual. What comes to your mind when you hear the word verbal? Verbal is the use of words to share information with other person or people. It can be written or spoken. Also, it can be face-to-face or through telephone. How about non-verbal? How does it differ from verbal? In non-verbal, we can pass information through facial expressions, eye contact, gestures, posture, and emotion. Lastly is visual. Nowadays, we are a visual society.
Reporter John Leo B. Cabalteja, and I will be discussing the types of communication according to context. So first is the intrapersonal type of communication according to context. It occurs between the people itself. So it includes self-talk, act of imagination, and visualization. So next, it is interpersonal. It is a communication occurs between two people or in a small group of people. So definitely it can be done verbal or non-verbal. Next is the intercultural. It is a communication takes place between members of different cultures. For example, it is a symbolic, interpretative, transactional, contextual process in which people from different cultures create and share meanings. For example, in the hotel, no, may mga iba't ibang mga nationalities na pumupunta doon, and so hoteliers
Of us, especially to our young invisible teacher, Ma'am Alma Biscocho. I hope you are already done and enjoyed watching this video of us. So the topic that I am assigned in is the continuation in the types of communication according to context. Extended communication. This involves the use of electronic media. Examples of this scenario is extended communication are used when a presenter is discussing a more complicated topic that they think their audience may be unfamiliar with. In an extended example, a speaker may want to use a chart, graph, or other visual aids to help an audience understand the example. Organizational communication. Organizational communication takes place among members of an organization. A good example of this is a group discussion, or I could say a team meetings, wherein it is a good example of organizational communication, which all teams should regularly share ideas, ask for feedback, and clearly voice their opinions. I think that is already enough, and then the next topic will be presented by one of our group mates. Thank you.
So there are two types of communication according to purpose and style. The first one is formal communication, and the second one is informal communication. So what are the differences of these two? Formal communication is the sharing of official information about the workplace. It's dictated by the established hierarchical organization of the business. And while informal communication does not follow any rules of predetermined policy, that formal does and is the opposite of formal communication. So